Hi guys, this is Louis from the Gnostic Priesthood at V2K Awareness. I just wanted to give y'all a little sermon right quick. It's Sabbath day. That's the day we're supposed to be worshiping God from Friday night evening to Saturday evening. You see how everything's satanic and you don't even know it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is Proverbs 28:9. He who turns a deaf ear to the law, even your prayers abomination. So by you not knowing the law, that's why things are in a bad shape. Things appear to be in a bad shape as a community as a whole, because we all forfeited that type of knowledge to be outsourced to other people. To think that that would be some sort of benefit of somebody knowing stuff that you don't know, and the population of not knowing it is of benefit to the population. It sounds really stupid when you really think about it. Right? I'd rather for our whole system to be compromised and we fall than have me out the loop of information. Okay, so the first thing I guess I was going to talk to, I had did this video earlier. But then I realized my phone had ran out of memory, so I hated to do it second time again. Well, I find it unpleasant to do it a second time again, but maybe I'll do something better this time. So what I was going to talk about is that, like I just said, it's Saturday. Saturday is worship day, so that means Sunday. If we worshiping something on Sunday, that means that God Day is Saturday, so that lets you know right then and there that something's up, that we worshiping something else, because it's not getting better. The preachers know they're not qualified to teach you anything, because you go inside the building to try to worship God. God said He doesn't dwell inside man-made buildings. They don't know they signed a covenant with some type of entity. It's called a 501c3. That means that they don't have to learn the law and teach it to you. They think that it's just some people just thinking that it's for tax purposes to not pay taxes. But if you look a little deeper, everybody knows. Once you start looking at things and start looking at the paperwork yourself, you'll see exactly why the way things are, and the way things are projected, and what can be done to remedy them. Sabbath day. We're supposed to be worshiping on Saturday, not Sunday. So on Sundays, we worshiping something else. Proverbs 28:9, he turns a deaf ear to the law, even in prayers abomination. So that means you're supposed to know the law. Because the church tries to get you to think that, the church in the state, they right, the state, but not the government, our government, which is us, it doesn't mix. Because if you look at the Constitution, the preamble to your state constitution, it says the supreme ruler is the one that's in charge of everything. This one they get their rights and everything to even behave and be in our face is from the supreme ruler. While I was watching TV and all that stuff, we think that we got some type of luxury of having people working on our behalf, when you know when that is just a facade. The whole thing is compromised. What I put on here was Christ-like. We have to realize that sitting back waiting for Christ to do things for us, and we could do it ourselves. We have all the powers, we just never use them. Like I said, we don't know economics, we don't know the law, we don't know spiritual history, we don't know the laws. And the Bible put together to summon the angels to help us in endeavors and to thrive, and etc., etc. Christ-like, we all have those powers. And we don't realize, by us not standing up for God and thinking somebody else doing it, you see the church is already compromised. They can't do nothing for you. And then your county building, you don't know the law definition of county is parish. The law definition of parish is church. So who's the church? Who's the what God is they preaching at the church of the county? But you think that it's a county building where everybody all hut together and you take responsibility for our actions as grown men, that they can dish out something and tell us, because this is what laws are. That doesn't exist. But not looking at the laws yourself and watching TV and wondering why things getting bad, and thinking like God ain't helping us. Where He at? Where you at? You not doing nothing. You don't know your system to even call them out. And then we actually go to a place to be read one book to us. Don't you know how stupid that sounds? We actually go somewhere to be read to us one book, and then they like, man, these people so stupid. We're gonna spend about 30 minutes on about 4 or 5 passages, and then we're gonna flood 80% of that rest clapping and talking about you, what you doing. Even though I'm thinking about having sex with your wife and all these things because they see me as a leader. If that's all it is, it's a scam. Because how can somebody pray for you if they don't know Proverbs 28:9? You shut down your church instantly when you bring that up. How can you hate Proverbs 28:9? How can y'all just sit out here and pray for people like that? They gonna try to say, oh, Christ, they try to go around it. Well, then they'll go, about 2 minutes later, they go right back into the Bible. It's a scheme to get you to worship Satan on the slide. Your reason why your relationship won't work and never will work is because you don't know that our system has been compromised by the 4G, 5G, 3G, television, radio commercials, radio waves that got you. Everybody emotional states. You don't know your economics, law, religion, how to regulate the government, how to interact socially to bring the communities together. All these things you don't know that it's critical things, because as a man, they say you're supposed to provide, but when you look at the true definition of provide, it's to provide information that's available, and that information that will never be available unless you seek it out. That's your thing. That's what you're supposed to do as a man, to provide, not trinkets and funds and stuff, because everything is free in America. But when you saying that stuff and telling it to you right now, it might as well be a lie, hieroglyphics, because what you're going to do, you're going to listen to some people and trust that you're suffering and die, not having everything that you've seen on TV is justifiable. And as women, you don't know, you've been watching this Disney stuff and thinking that, oh, I'm so pretty, somebody's supposed to just come take care of me, and just, I don't have to learn the law, I don't have to learn economics, I don't have to learn how to talk to God, I don't have nothing. But you don't see, what thing they don't show you is that all the prettiest girls are strippers. They out here doing everything they can to try to keep their head above water and get somewhere in life. But you are probably like an 8 or something. It's to be designed like that, to get the prettiest girls to never be a leader that knows God, that knows the economics, know how to defend herself in court, know how to regulate the government. Because if they start having girls that's doing all that stuff, and there'll be an image that all girls will follow. Right now, every girl is about down their naked on TV and on Facebook, and still ain't getting nobody equality, and you don't get it, that they just trying you to see how far you're gonna go. And then you know what I realized too, after my investigations, I found out that women somehow, I don't know how far back this goes, is that y'all got introduced into some dude from the Illuminati that took you out on an expensive ass day, probably like $1,000 that one day, or $10,000. And it gets you so riled up and blew your head up so big that when they drop you off, you don't see nobody in there. You're still looking for that type of dude to this day, and they never gonna come. Their whole job was to get to you, to molest your children and fuck your kids up, while you still thinking that you still got it out here at 44 and 66, and won't tell these kids, tell the people behind you, like, hey man, it was a pipe dream, man. No, girl, don't wear them skirts like that. It ain't nothing. When you show your shape, you're saying that you are desirable to God. And another thing too is that the Bible says looks with wealth obtained by vanity and looks will diminish. That's why you will never see nobody around here old that's riding around and successful that use their body. Only people you see like that is on TV, and they sold their soul to be in front of you. So it ain't no winners. And yep. You know, children are cursed from the beginning when they call kids. We don't know our vocabulary is a 7th grade level, and we think it sounds so cute, and then we think that they're doing the most. Girls really like abandoned your men, but you was unprotected. We you came into the city and you didn't know that this was a breeding ground for Satan, nobody is going unscathed. You have out here with these people partying and stuff. Your family is compromised. They're going to school to get brainwashed. They around here learning to rebel from what? Rebel because y'all make it seem like when you send the kids to school, this is the sure shot way to be successful. And you never look inside the books and look at them. When you look at it, they going by a lesson plan that's from out of the country to teach you to learn that anything other than what you're going to work for is worthless. Not Proverbs, but 12 U.S. Code 411. Federal Reserve notes are for in-house banking, and the Federal Reserve agents to Federal Reserve banks and here and after set forth, no other purposes authorized. And right now, it's the Christ era. They trying to make it double down, and we don't know that everything is just a big test right now to see if you will look at the information to see if this stuff to justify these type of hardships. You're going to keep on listening to the TV where everybody partying and dancing around, and when you go outside, there ain't nothing like that. Or you're going to take a stand and start asking questions and figuring this stuff out yourself to justify your existence. Because one thing that we did is that we became a hive mindset to at the expense of your individuality, that when you see people falling off and going to destruction, we don't look at them as individual people like Peter Jenkins or something like that. Because when you start thinking of in your emotional state and start doing things just because everybody else doing it, you take away your individuality and you become a threat to society as a whole. Because you outsourced all your thinking to a system that you haven't verified. You got children out here thinking that y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all don't know what the fuck y'all doing. You don't know the law. You don't know economics. You don't know how to speak to God. And that's everybody to the point where when their kids come outside, they don't know nothing about God. They don't see nothing. They don't know. You don't know what you're doing. So we created fake realities all the time. Children go to school thinking that they broke and all this other stuff. It's just because you don't know your economic system to create money, be a promissory note, or bills of exchange, and that's what's going on. You can't afford to have no children until you secure a perimeter to know your system. But we think that, oh yeah, they gave us a little Section 8, they did this. Oh, but I can't have no man now. Why would anything that's created as a benefit to the community but not have no man now? When they know, they know what they're gonna do. They subliminally tell you, have a drug dealer there, and then y'all think that, oh yeah, we're gonna come up and we're gonna ride out into the sunset. It's gonna be fun, exciting, like the movies and stuff. But all you do is just end up having your children molested, and you end up with nothing. You end up with nothing. You end up part of some old scrubby ghetto stuff that made it sounded cool when you was in your teenage years and then seeing it on TV. But when you start seeing your children affected, that they done got touched on by somebody that you seen, that they develop in those type of ways too, then you realize that there ain't nothing to tell nobody, and you don't warn your community about these type of behaviors, because it done got so big that if you're not paying attention, you can't see it. But I can tell. There's almost every woman out here abandoned their men because they was unprotected. And now they looking for on the internet for some dude to come and rescue them by being naked and all these other things. When all you have to do is just look at your system itself. Look at your economic system. What is you paying? No rent and all this stuff is a scam. It's been going on for the longest because there was no internet. Now the internet here, you don't supposed to be paying for shit. You don't know the Bible. The Bible said if thou hast no money, how can thou take the bed for money? You don't know the Bible is supposed to regulate the government. You went to a church to sit there and just listen to somebody talk down on you all day. They can't even. They're not even qualified because Proverbs 28:9, he who turns a deaf ear to the law, even his prayers abomination. So how could they pray for you? How could they pray for anybody? They can't. And then they took a deal from the government to make a covenant away from God to serve the worship on Sunday, and then take money up for that's Federal Reserve notes that's only for military script, only for military people. And then look at the men out here that were trained to this thing that they just ain't applying themselves enough. This is strategically done to keep it going to a certain level, certain edge, close to the edge, off the edge. Well, When you see a man out here that's struggling, you don't understand why, because you don't know, you thinking that you don't have to. You got the latest trend of that's keeping you afloat, and you don't know that that trend could end at any given time. And what's going to happen is that you're going to push your men away so far that you're going to be exposed, completely exposed when they drop the facade. I realized everything was designed to go after your children. That's it. They got the Molech for the children. They got Baal for the children. Everything out here is designed for you to get to your children. And you really think that these dudes on the internet really looking for you? They out here looking for the people, these people that's supposed to be having billions, but it's all a scheme to get to your children, to sacrifice them. And everybody, and then you can't think about all that stuff because you're too emotional. You don't know that these 4G, 5G phones are emitting waves that's making you emotional and make it hard for you to concentrate. Even right now, you're hearing all this stuff, you're probably getting a headache because you're hearing about stuff that's important that you have to investigate. But you're gonna have to fight through it. This is the Christ era, but the good news is this is the Christ era. That everything is going to be good, no matter what up without your help. It's just really to protect yourself until everything becomes in a full force and fully implemented. And that's it. The only reason we're going through stuff, we listen to music that talk all that posture stuff. Have you thinking that that's some type of way to be, when all that do is take you from under God's protection. God said He doesn't like a proud look. So what they do, what we listen to, that Illuminati shit. Because every song they put out is destruction. They say he who plays emotional songs to you when you're going through something bad is that is the same one that will take your clothes off of you when you're about to enter a winter storm. And those who you go to the bar to drink, they do everything satanic. But they say, give strong drink, Proverbs, give strong drink upon those who are ready to perish, and wine for those who have heavy hearts. You don't realize that all the things we trying to do, and then you go to this certain club that you could go to the park for $25 and everybody could drink and laugh and bring your own music together. But you want to sit in this concentrated area and look like you something. To sacrifice your ceremony of trying to find somebody a mate for the expense of y'all dancing and grinding on each other so that make y'all go together. And then we turn around and be like, God, why you did? What's going on? Why you ain't helping? You done signed yourself out of God, umbrella of protection, that all you have to do is just repent and go back. Because you don't know how far you done swam down. You know you swam out too far in the ocean, then you can't stand up. Matter of fact, when you walk out too far, then you can't stand up no more, and you can't swim, you done went too far. So now you gotta call for help. You gotta let God know, hey, I didn't know that I was assigned a birth certificate that made my children be collateral for a debt. I didn't know my economics, my laws, my religion, how to spiritual history, how to regulate the government, and I never told my children that, and it made them look like what we're going through is fully justifiable. When they could probably fix the bill, fix everything themselves. I never told them that when they go into the schoolhouse, I never verified the curriculum to see if this justifies their existence. I didn't learn. When I graduated from high school, I didn't know what to do myself. So how can I expect them to know what to do going through the stuff that they hated, and I hated it too, and ain't nothing came out of it. Yep. And yeah, just tell God that you messed up, and come back to me and say, heal the land. Everything will go back to the things the way we was before these type of events happen. But if you listen to this emotional stuff right here, and then keep going down that road, and don't pay attention to that, this stuff, these radio waves are playing you to make you do the double down and keep going even further, you're going to end up in a situation where if you start making yourself up, like in the Bible said, if you keep God in your mind and your heart, He'll help you through no matter what. But if you get so scorned and so bitter, you'll have to carry your burdens alone. And you don't want to be going to build your stuff, stack your shit up so high that then you turn around and just be some angry, bitter person that nobody can reach inside and touch your heart anymore. And yeah, that's it. Our family, everything is compromised by V2K, the radio wave stuff. Everybody's just acting like this stuff ain't happening to them. And the easy way you could tell everybody compromise, everybody wants something, and they don't know they for some reason they don't know they lacking the substance or the tools or materials to get it. You want a better life. You know that it's if you learn the law, it's impossible to fail. You know, if you learn the Bible, it's impossible to fail. You know, if you learn the economics, it's impossible to fail. You go buy weed underground. Don't you know you can buy the law underground for $400? Lawfulliving.com. When you learn the law and the Bible, you put those two together. The law and the Bible put together, that summons the angel. You can have the sum of the angels, and they're gonna come 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 6, and all those things gonna start happening. Put the Bible books that was taken out of the Bible in 325 AD together, and you get a whole different story. You have to be fully self-sufficient, that you have to be Christ. Every one of us Christ. We ain't never supposed to be going to somebody to read a book to us that we already know. We can already read ourselves. We assume that these people got special talents and all this stuff, and then now you see the facade of Proverbs 28:9, he who turns a deaf ear to the law, even his prayers abomination, can't pray for you. And then there's the Lord does not dwell in buildings made by hand, so why you going inside the building on top of that? And then on church on Sundays, when it's Sabbath and Saturday, we started from Friday evening to Saturday evening. That's but what we do, we train to say satanic stuff subtly. What you do as soon as you get on Friday, you do the complete opposite. You go out here and get fucked up and drink spirits. You fornicate. Nobody's married and stuff no more. They try to make it sound cool. And the people that you listen to on TV, they are sacrificing their children and all this stuff. Everything they doing to make it look like everything that they doing they getting away with it, and it's a plus. They getting sacrificed, they getting cloned, and God is not playing with these people. And it's up to you to see how much you really set yourself down the path to destruction, or allow the gnashing of teeth until the Christ era is fully implemented. And now we all facing with a system that we allow people to be in it and just know standard operating procedures and not know the job description, the charter, or any of these things. That now you have to go through this stuff. You're gonna have to go to jail because you know that from driving and traveling, it's just a word. Driving is a title, and traveling they just use that because that's the Constitution. You can travel anywhere you want to, but they get you to say that you're a driver, and you sign a license, which is void because they're saying that 50% of the time that you're driving, that you're supposed to be operating your motor vehicle is for commerce. So that means you never qualify. Who in your entire life ever did 50% plus of the time getting in their car to go do some business? Nobody. Then now we got standard operating procedures where you just got to go over with people now because they there for a job. That's not the last thing that you want to do inside the government, is be there to get paid. Your job there is to work through the Constitution to assure that a quality of living for everybody around you. Not to work for the county to get paid. I'm in a county and you don't even know that the county is a parish and a church from a whole nother from the dark priesthood. Everybody thinking, oh, this is a county, that means it's our whole land mass area. But this is corporations. You got corporate boundaries and corporate limits that everybody jumping over because we watching TV and we see on TV, oh, the police be interacting with us. That means that's what's supposed to happen. Nope. It's police that took a job that they don't know they don't know their corporate limits. They just want to go get paid. They want to get paid to think they can enforce something. But as soon as they get a job, what the first thing they do, they say, you want to you swear the oath for God to defend the Constitution. And the very next day, what they do, they get trained to just discard that and wonder why as soon as they leave their house, their wife getting played on, their life is miserable. They got to stick together because they done abandoned God and they thought it was a joke. And so they come out here with these games and stuff that we allowed to happen because we don't think that not knowing the system is what's are detrimental to us and dangerous. And we got these churches and all these things